Hi, my name is Danielle Leva, and this is my BITSA Module C inquiry presentation. My inquiry focus question for my unit of study is what active participation strategies can I implement during 8th grade Common Core math instruction to increase student proficiency in solving systems of equations by graphing or using substitution? The Common Core state standards that I am focusing on in my unit of study is the 8th grade expressions and equations standards, in particular the standard involving analyzing and solving pairs of simultaneous linear equations. My motivation in focusing on active participation is the idea that students learn more by doing. In researching articles about active participation, I came across many articles that talked about active participation leading to peak interest of students and adding to the value and purpose of lessons and more engagement by students. Here are students participating in a whiteboard activity where they are solving systems of linear equations using substitution, and as you see here, they are collaborating with one another to come up with the correct solution. Here on the left-hand side are students participating in the scavenger hunt activity where they were to take their recording sheet with a partner and walk around the room trying to solve systems by graphing. Here on the right-hand side, students are participating in the trading cards activity where they were solving equations on cards that asked them to use substitution. Here, students are participating in a Kahoot activity, which is an online program that is designed like a game where students are practicing their skills in solving problems and competing against one another. They really enjoyed this activity. Here is my video of students participating in the scavenger hunt activity. As you can see, they are working together in pairs, trying to solve and discuss approaches and ways of solving systems of linear equations by graphing.
We're taking the graphs and then we're gonna the intersection point of the graphs we're gonna plug into the equation and find out if it works. Right, Moises? Yes. X is a straight edge. The point of intersection is right here, and then we plug that into the equation. The x value being the x and the y value being the y.
It intersects on 3. Because that's where my graph is going.
So as you can see, students are working collaboratively together to solve systems of equations by graphing. Here is where I talk about the way in which I incorporated the 4 C's into my unit of study. I use collaboration and communication in almost every one of my lessons. Students were always encouraged to collaborate with one another and talk out their thoughts and process the information by discussing it with others. Also, there was a lot of critical thinking involved in choosing methods of which to solve problems, as well as the choice as which method they were most comfortable with and then using that method to solve them. Differentiation strategies that I used for my special population student was individual check-in conferences with that student to make sure the student understood what was going on and to clear up confusions, preferential seating near the front of the classroom, partnered with a proficient and well-behaved student, verbal, written, and visual instructions so they could reference those instructions or directions at any time. And for this particular student, they needed extra processing time and extra time to complete each activity. And as well as for notes, they used graphic organizers to break down information into small, understandable chunks. As for the differentiation strategies I used for the English learner, they were along the same lines as I used for the previous student, individual check-in conferences, preferential seating close to the teacher in the classroom, in the front of the classroom. I also made sure to partner the student with a proficient dual language student who could translate anything that may have been lost in translation during teacher instruction. Verbal, written, and visual directions were also used, as well as a graphic organizer for notes so that the student could understand the information in small chunks. The assessments that I used were both taken from the Big Ideas math curriculum. The pre-assessment was done online, and the post-assessment was done via paper pencil. All questions were constructed response questions and or matching questions, and they either asked them to solve systems using graphing or by substitution. The SBAC, like pre-assessment, like I said, was taken online, and here is a sample of two questions and how the student answered one of the questions. Here is a sample of the post-assessment that the students took. Again, constructed response questions, as well as matching questions, all asking them to solve systems of equations by either graphing or substitution. Here's a sample of an exit ticket that was used halfway through the unit. This exit ticket in particular asked students to solve systems using substitution. Here are sample work of students who participated in the Find Someone Who activity and the Scavenger Hunt activity. Here are samples of homework assignments that were given during this unit. Here on the left is a substitution homework assignment. On the right is a graphing assignment. Here are the results of my period 3 focus class. As you can see on the pre-assessment, they scored about a 29% average, and on the right hand side here they increased their proficiency to an 81% average. So as you can see, they significantly improved. Here are my 3 focus students and their achievement results. In the green is my EL student, who, as you can see, ended up exiting the unit with a proficient at a proficient level. In the purple is my special population student, and as you can see, she ended up mastering the content by scoring 100% on the final assessment. And my special focus student, she ended up more than doubling her score. So as you can see, they all significantly improved. What I learned from my students is students really appreciate that immediate specific feedback. They're really motivated by that. Students also engage more in activities that pique their interest and involve them moving and socializing during the activity. Students' motivation increased when they were given or told what the purpose of the activity or the instruction was for that day. And students became more accountable and prepared when they were in a learning environment where they were expected to participate in one way or the other. What I learned about myself as a teacher is that integrating a variety of doing activities that incorporated multiple types of ways to participate really engaged a majority of my students. Also, I learned that it's okay to integrate fun and creative activities, and students will still learn and be efficient and productive. And lastly, I learned that covert participation is just as important as overt participation, and it's really important to keep them balanced throughout your lesson and during your unit. Thank you for watching my presentation. I hope you enjoyed.